How to live from I am when your 3D reality is unideal. Hello beautiful soul, welcome back to my channel. This is Priya, your manifestation coach, and in this video I am going to share with you how to live from your I amness when you are faced with unideal 3D circumstances. But first, if you would like to work with me, you can get access to any of my offerings by simply clicking the link below in the description box. Okay, let's get back to this video. How to live from I am when you are facing unideal circumstances. Now, this video is in response to one of the questions that I got from you guys, where you were asking me, Priya, how do I come back to my I am in the event of facing unideal circumstances? So in this video, I really wanted to shine some light on how to do this. So first and foremost, it's important to remember the truth of who you truly are. You are not your emotions, you are not your thoughts, and you are not your identity. Who you truly are is beyond that. Who you truly are is I am. Your thoughts are transient, so are your emotions, and so is your identity. They come and go, but what remains is I am. Beneath that is who you truly are. You are whole, you are complete, and you are fulfillment itself. This is who you truly are. You are all that is. So, how do you live from this place of knowing that you are all that is? Especially when you are faced with unideal 3D circumstances. Now, your unideal 3D circumstances can be anything. It could be that you're trying to manifest more money, a better job, your specific person, somebody new, a new car, a new house. It doesn't matter what it is. But let's say that your 3D is currently showing you the opposite. It's showing you something unideal. How do you live from your I am during those moments? So firstly, from a mindset point of view, what you want to understand is that when the 3D is showing you the opposite, now is the time to come back to your I am, especially now. That's when you make that choice and that decision to remember who you truly are. Now, there are a couple of ways by which you can do this. Like, number one, what I suggest is to first make peace with the unideal 3D circumstance, because it's just one version of reality out of infinity. And when you make peace with the unideal circumstance, you're not invalidating any portion of creation, because it is just one portion of creation. So when you make peace with it, you're not invalidating it, because you understand you are all that is. Right? You are everything and everything is you, so why do you need to invalidate anything? Now, it's not something that you prefer, but when you invalidate that version of reality, you create resistance for yourself. Whereas when you make peace with it from the understanding that you are everything and everything is you, now you can shift back into your I amness, because you understand it's just one portion of reality out of infinite that exists, and you know who you truly are, and you're able to easily select and choose another version of reality. So the first thing is to just make peace with your current circumstance. Don't resist it, don't fight it. Make peace with it from presence. Remember, your I am is presence-based identity, so you make peace with it from a place of presence. Now from there, the work then becomes about your negative thoughts, your negative emotions, and your old identity that says, I don't have, or I can't have this thing because of X, Y, and Z. So at this point, the work is then really about not identifying with your negative emotions, the negative thoughts, and the old identity. And you do this through observation. When you're observing the negative thoughts and the negative emotions, you're not identifying with it. You're rooted in your I am. The negative thoughts can be there. The negative emotions can be. You could be triggered and still not identify with it, because you're rooted and solid in your I amness and presence. You're like, that's just a thought. That's not who I am. This is just sensation passing through my body. That's not who I am. Now, to be clear, this doesn't mean suppress your emotions. Not at all. In fact, you want to feel your emotions, especially if, the emotion is very intense, or you need to cry. Feel all of that. But again, you can do it from a place of your I am, of knowing who you truly are. You can feel those negative emotions. You can have those negative thoughts, but still know who you are. You can watch them like a movie and allow them to be there. Do not resist them. In fact, when you don't resist it, when you don't resist the negative thought and the negative emotions, because you create separation with it, they will dissolve. They will dissolve very quickly, because you're rooted in your I am. You're like, that's not who I am. That's just a thought. That's not who I am. That's just my old identity. That's not who I am. That's just sensation passing through my body. It will dissolve because you're not pushing it away. You're just not identifying with it. So you're not giving it life. It will absolutely dissolve. Now, sometimes the emotions, the negative emotion or the trigger can really hijack your body where you're truly in a place of survival mode or fear. And I want you to know that that's completely normal. But even then, you still have a choice not to identify with those negative emotions or those negative thoughts. You can feel the emotion, you can observe the thought, but choose not to identify with it. Go beyond, remember who you truly are, that your manifestation is done. There's nothing for you to figure out. So this is really something that you are in control of. Once you've made peace with the circumstance, the unideal circumstance, then it really is about the practice of not identifying with negative thoughts and negative emotions or your old identity. You doing that in itself, you will feel a huge shift because you will pull your energy back to you. Now from there, you can also, from a place of presence and from your I am, affirm for your end, think from your end. So it could look something like this. A negative thought comes up that says, I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, whatever the story is. And you notice it and you just say, that's just a thought, that's not who I am. And then from there, you go back to the end. So from your I amness, you're like, actually, I'm perfect and whole. Actually, I have X amount in my bank account. Actually, I'm happily married to the love of my life. Actually, me and my SP in a happy, loving, committed relationship. And then you go back to being present and living your life. So you don't dwell on it. You go back to being present and back to being living. That is how you practice living from I am when you are faced with unideal circumstances. Now, when you do this, you will be operating from a place of flow. And when you're operating from a place of flow, there is no suffering. Suffering comes from identification with negative thoughts, negative emotions, and a negative identity. That is the causation of suffering, and it's a program. Really, you're in a program. When you identify with a negative thought, negative emotion, or even the old identity, you're in a program at that point. You are not present. So the idea is when you come back to being present, you can notice. That's when you're in your I am. When you're present, you notice that's just a program. That's not who I am. And you do not identify with it. From there, you will see the negative thought dissolve. You will see the negative emotion dissolve. And then from there, if you feel inspired, you can redirect to the end through an affirmation, or you just go back to doing whatever it was that you were doing, the task at hand, because you're in knowingness that your manifestation is already done, that there's nothing for you to figure out other than to live from I am, to live from a place of wholeness where you're no longer separate from you and your manifestation. That is how you live from I am when you are faced with unideal circumstances in the 3D. The most important message here is not to identify with the negative thought and the negative emotion or the old identity. To be clear, that doesn't mean suppress your emotions. Absolutely feel any emotion that is coming up, but beyond that, you remember who you truly are. You stay anchored and rooted in your I am. This means that you have full trust in your I am, because remember, you're not doing anything. Your I am is the one providing for you. Your I am is the one that is rearranging everything on your behalf. You just have to stay rooted in your I am as much as possible. Right? But your I am does everything for you. There's nothing for you to figure out. There's nothing for you to do. It will bring the right people, circumstances, and events, or versions of people. Your I am is the one doing it, not you. You just have to practice, stop identifying with the old thoughts and the old emotions. And this is accomplished through being present. This is accomplished through noticing when you're in a program and choosing not to identify with the negative programs that say you are not the person who already has your manifestation. It is that simple. And this is something you are in control of, because you are in control of whether you identify with a negative thought or a negative emotion. Now, something else that I do want to shine light on is that you are human. So sometimes you might slip up, sometimes you might be in a spiral, sometimes you might get caught in the story. But as soon as you notice it, as soon as you notice your inner program, your only job is to come back to I am and to not identify with the negative story or the negative emotion. And remember that the only thing that exists is the now. So it doesn't matter if 5 seconds ago or 5 minutes ago you were in a negative story. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is you come back to the truth of who you really are, your I amness in the now. When you do this, you will pull your energy back to you. You will feel so much better. And you will see the speed at which things reshuffle itself around you and flow into your experience. There is no reason to suffer on this journey. There is just absolutely no reason for it. So when you operate from a place of I am, you are operating from a place of flow. You feel better and things flow into your reality with more ease. So I hope this video has helped shine some light on how to live from I am, especially when your 3D reality is showing you something unideal. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. Mwah.